What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So your girl is back with another reaction video. Now this video comes from none other than Corey Holcomb. So Corey kind of went in on Ayesha Curry. You guys know I already talked about Ayesha Curry and her whole shenanigans, but baby, Corey went in on her. But this time he had River back on the channel. Shout out to River TV. Love her channel, love her work, love Corey work as well. We gonna hop into what Corey had to say. Make sure you guys chime in. If you are watching this video and you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Share and like the video and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content, all right? All right, so let's get into the video. Here we go.
But
thank you so much.
I'm just saying, you know, I want to talk about what's happening out here with Miss Ayesha Curry. And I didn't want to say nothing as a man who has strong opinions about what he witnesses. But just in case somebody doesn't know, people don't know, can you tell the people what's happening with Ayesha Curry? I got that picture of her because I want people to see who is trying to over a Hall of Famer NBA. That's Garfield the cat up there. That's one of the old men on the Muppets back in the day. That's Mortimer from, anyway. Can you tell the people what's happening, River? I know you talk. Go ahead.
Listen, I absolutely can, but I think that just like how you're saying that, I think we should preface this with, it reminds me of the situation that happened with Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Where everybody's like, don't do it. You know, be careful. We know, we can see the red flags. And he took it as an offense because obviously that's his girl and he, you know, he wants to protect her and all this kind of stuff. But it's the same thing in this situation. It's like, because of the love and appreciation that people have for Steph Curry, that's why it's such a big thing. It's not people are trying to attack him or they don't want him to be happy. It's like, I don't think I can even grasp how Steph Curry is married to a woman who is acting like a bitter baby mama in the marriage.
Let me tell you something. She's actually absolutely right. That's how she's acting like she's missing out on something. You know what I mean? Like she's not completely happy with where she is. This is why I say this lady is jealous of her husband, I think. I really do. I believe she's jealous of his success. I think she wants his career or something. You know, not obviously not in basketball, but she wished she had his level of success, and her being attached to it, married to him, is just not enough. And so she's acting out every chance she gets. She's saying things she didn't want, she didn't like, you know, like, you know, and oh, I didn't want a husband. I didn't want this. I didn't want kids. I didn't want all of this. So what did you want? Because you chose to marry him, and so you're not satisfied with where you are, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? And I think when she goes out, every time a lot of the stuff that she's saying, she should just keep it to herself. I think she shouldn't even talk about it. Girl, go enjoy your family and stop putting your husband out there in a bad light and making yourself look bad too. So it's like she's not happy. It's what it seems like. It seems like she's troubled and she's not really getting what she wanted because she didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like you have a successful husband, financially stable, he can take care of you and his family and everybody, but that is not enough. It's like she said, she wanted to be you know, like a businesswoman. So she didn't get to really do that and become this business mogul that she thought she could be because she married Steph Curry. Oh yeah, Steph Curry, you know, who, you know, like that was no big deal. And you got a family with him and you're good. You're in a good place, but you still are unsatisfied for some reason. That's what it seems like to me though. But let's continue.
It's mind-boggling to me. It really is. And it reminds me too, because when I first started talking about this situation, we all know Red Table Talk happened and Ayesha Curry was there with her mother-in-law, okay? At the same table with Jada, which that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
And she was saying how she wasn't getting the same attention from men that Steph Curry gets from women. Well, of course not, sweetie, because he's the star. First of all.
Right.
Second of all, if you're in a marriage and you're happy, why would you even want said attention? So that was like the first kind of strike that we saw going on. And then where she was on the talk show The Real, and some guys came out and was serving drinks to the ladies, and she was like, forcefully like doing this gesture like, oh, I'm trying to keep my ring on, and then so now all those things have passed, and it comes like every time that people forget about that and are willing to give her grace,
something else.
She comes right back to the forefront and does something else that's even more like, girl, just stop talking.
Right.
Like, just stop talking. And most recently, she did an interview on the Call Me Daddy podcast, in which I don't know what she was promoting. I really don't. I don't know what she was actually there for. But the woman who was doing the podcast was throwing her bones of admiration. Mm-hmm. And it was like Ayesha turned into Serena and was batting down all of the alley-oops that the lady was trying to give her. Like, oh, well, it's amazing. Like, you have this amazing husband. And it's kind of like, oh, the guy in high school, I didn't even like him like that. Like, oh.
Yeah.
But you
it's every little chance she gets to kind of belittle him in a sense. She can't really do it, but she's trying to. It's a weird thing to see. Usually if you have a great man, right, and he's successful and he's famous and all of that, when you go out and you talk about him, you say good things about him. You say positive things about him. You point out the good parts about him. Because why else would you go out and try to say things to kind of like make him look bad? You wouldn't want to do that if it's somebody that you love and care about. Whatever issues y'all have, maybe you got some bad, everybody is a little mixture of good and bad, so maybe his bad parts, you see that at home, but you keep that at home. You don't expose that or exploit that, because that's your man, just like you wouldn't want him to exploit or expose your negatives, because we all got negatives and positives, let's be honest. But your negatives is the part you want to keep within your household with your people, and y'all work on that. You wouldn't want somebody to just every chance they get, oh well, she really ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? You think she, just exposing the person every chance you get. That's what she seems like she's doing. To me, that sounds like somebody who don't really like their spouse. You don't really like him, or you jealous of him and you want to be him. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Have these kids, like, aren't you so happy? Kids? I didn't even want kids. And it's like, everybody was like, what? Why?
So look, I'm so glad you said all that.
Exactly.
I'm so glad you get all that out. Because see, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I watch you with not all. I've watched so many of your interviews. And I'm just going to get straight to it. Be honest. Do you think that most women are inherently evil or scammers? Do you think that from what you see?
I do. And I definitely do say that. And the reason why I say that is because a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons being a lot of women.
It's true.
Know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's true. Yeah, no, it's true. A lot of women don't know what they want. And so they get into these situations of what, either their friends or their family or society tells them that they're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And then they do all the right things to get there. Then when they get there, the real them comes out. And I feel like that's kind of a lot of, like, women are hormonal, right? We're completely different than men. Women are so wrapped up in their emotions and their feelings, which feelings are fleeting. And they make these brash decisions, and that's scary, because a man who's stable, who's in a situation, can just wake up one day and be like, who is this? Like, it takes evolution for women to be, in my opinion, more stable, more calm, more logical thinking. Like, I think
so. You think there's a way they can become logical thinkers? You think there's something on this planet that can make them that way?
I think it's never going to be the same as a man. But I think once they have a certain level of understanding and humility, which a lot of women do not have, that's the main problem. A lot of women don't have the humility enough to even listen, to receive, or to understand another person's point of view. So how can they listen and understand enough to even change or evolve or grow. Like, and so I
You finna get famous.
That.
You finna get famous for speaking honest.
But I hate to say it, but it's really true. And we're in an era now that like everybody is thinking that wrong is right and right is wrong. And we have to be true, because I'm not like people, oh, you know, she's a pick me or whatever. But I'm saying it because I love you, right? Like, I love you. I want you to get it right. I want you to have good relationships. So I have to be honest with you. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I say too. I agree with what River is saying. I say it all the time. You can't, it's like, you know, your kids, when you're chastising your child, you know, you telling them what they need, the right thing. If they're doing something wrong, you correct them. You tell them, hey, no, you can't do this. You talking to like my 8-year-old. I'm talking to my 8-year-old. Hey, you can't do this. You know, that's a no. This is what you should do. It's not right to do that. Now, in order for me to chastise him and correct him, I have to tell him what he did wrong, so he can understand that what he did was wrong. And now this is how you correct it. To not do that, but to do this. If you have to tell them the truth, though. You can't sit there and be delusional and lie to them or tell them, oh, you know, I'm trying to correct you, but what you did was okay. No, what you did was wrong, and don't ever do it again. And this is how you're supposed to respond, or whatever the situation may be. You have to, in order to correct something, you have to be honest. You can't lie. This is why I say a lot of, and it's funny how a lot of women are super delusional and they like to go after the lie because it sounds good. You want to go after the people who telling you and selling you the things that you want to hear, but it's not benefiting you. You're not getting the results of it. And the people who are getting the results, you don't want to hear from them. This is why I say I don't understand how a lot of women that are single and crying about there aren't any good men out here. Y'all go and listen to other single women who don't have the experience, who are not married. You got that Cheyenne Bryant lady, you got that other lady. Those ladies are not married, and they're experts on relationships and all of these things with degrees on this, and they don't have the man. So why would you go follow them and just eat up everything that they're saying when they don't even have the information, and then the information that they're giving you is not beneficial to you? I can see if somebody is giving you information that is the truth and honest, you know, and like what River is saying, I respect River for her points of view because she's honest with it. A lot of what them women are saying who claim to be the experts, they are not speaking the truth. They're setting these women up for failure, and they're just collecting and benefiting off of it. So you got to be a little bit wiser and pay attention to who you listen to and what advice you take, because all advice is not good advice. But I noticed that the women who are older, who ain't never been married, who are single, are here giving these women this advice, and they won't accept a bus driver, and they won't accept this, and they won't accept that, and you should have these standards and all these standards that they have, and they still don't have the man that they want. They want a man who makes more than what they make, so you want a man who does really, really well financially, but you can't seem to get one. Not one that takes you seriously and want to really be with just you. So, yeah, you got to be honest. You can't, if somebody's sitting here telling you what you want to hear all the time and hyping you up and telling you, oh, girl, yeah, that's the ones you should run away from, because, you know, the truth hurts sometimes. The truth hurts. The truth is not going to always be sweet and great. It's going to hurt a little. It's going to sting a little, because you know it's true and you know what you need to do. Sometimes you're not ready to do it. Everybody's not ready to accept the truth. But knowing the truth, at least that's half the battle. You kind of know where you stand, you know, as opposed to somebody just feeding you a bunch of BS and making you feel good, because that's only temporary. You feel good for the moment, and then when reality sets in, you back to square one, because now you still got to deal with the truth of the reality of what's going on. You shouldn't be excited about people giving you telling you everything you want to hear, but you should be accepting and open to the people who are telling you what you need to hear. Let's continue.
Say, oh yeah, girl, she's a girl boss. Like, I've seen so many women like, oh, so Ayesha is not allowed to have her own identity. She's not allowed to express herself. Of course she is. She's a woman. She has her own autonomy. Of course, your identity is not just being a wife and a mother. But why, in expressing that, do you have to disrespect him, embarrass him, and humiliate him on the forefront? Like, the reason I don't understand that.
It's so disrespectful what she does, because she's a 6. Like, he's an NBA superstar.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's with a 6. But this is what I want to tell you to open your eyes where you might not think of it this way, Reva. It's not all her. Steph Curry comes from a line of suckers. His dad was left by Steph Curry's mother. She was f***ing with one of his friends.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Or somebody he went to college with or somebody like that. Somebody she shouldn't have been messing with. Even though she was at the games clapping for her son, getting the shine, making herself be seen, standing up and everything. Steph Curry's brother was into it with another NBA player over a girl who belonged to the game. And now here is Steph Curry with not one, not two. He kept putting babies in something that he knew was broken. So when people say, Steph Curry ain't got no dirt on his name, yes, he do. The dirt on your name is your wife, because your wife is walking around all over you. So you can act like you're innocent if you just got in this. He's 4 babies in with a girl who has real issues toward him. Because you don't talk about your people like that.
Right.
Especially your husband.
Exactly.
So when we get to seeing what's happening, we have to give Steph Curry blame too, because why put so much effort into someone like that? And you know the reason people put effort into stuff like that is because men actually think that if they be Superman, they can change the way that person is.
You know, before he continues, he's absolutely right. You can't change that type of person. You know, I believe change is possible, but you have to want it yourself. And no, this woman, yeah, every chance she gets, she says something in a negative connotation towards her husband, which means she doesn't really like him in a sense. So she doesn't appear to like him. And yeah, he definitely has to take some blame for it too, because why would you sit there and allow that? I'm pretty sure he could replace her if he wanted to. If he wanted to. I'm not suggesting that he does. I'm saying if he wanted to, he could. He certainly could. But that's the woman that he chose to marry. I believe he loves her, because there's no other way he would be sitting there dealing with this or whatever. You know what I mean? He seems to really love her, and maybe he, you know, it's just that type of guy that where, you know, that's who he, you know, thinking maybe he thinks she's going to change. Maybe he thinks that, hey, the more I pour into her, the better she'll get. And I just gotta, you know, deal with it. Maybe he's the type of person that thinks he's okay with dealing with that. You know, some men aren't, you know, don't realize it, or maybe it's not an issue for him. Maybe he doesn't see it the way we see it. Who knows? It could be a multitude of reasons as to why, you know, he's seemingly okay. We don't know behind the scenes. Maybe he's not okay with it, and she just continues to do it anyway. We don't know, but it definitely, you know, he has a part to play in it as well, because he's allowing it. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because the thing about it is he's probably sitting there not even looking at it or okay with it or letting it happen, and she the one that has all the problems apparently. And then eventually she will be the one trying to walk away. The one with the problems who's doing all this would be the one who thinks who making it seem like he's doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the problem, when all the while she's been the issue. But then she'll walk away, like I'm saying, and making the people think, oh my God, he just wasn't who you thought he was, and make him out to be the terrible villain when it was her all the while. And we see it. Let's continue.
Step back, and I watch how too many women, more women than not, act. And it's like they really are not sane and don't got a clue.
No, but I'm laughing because I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you. This is the thing, right? Steph Curry and her, they look like brother and sister to me. The whole family look like her, him. If she's with his mom, she looks like that could be her daughter. Like they
no, her face is not aerodynamic enough to fit in. She got a fat face like a plate, and them ain't the one. When you got money, you just don't. You don't be with a girl like that.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see a lot of guys with money with a fat face, bitch. They normally get a girl who has. This is stuff that people will be like, Corey tripping, but this is real.
No, I know what you're talking about.
A woman who has an aerodynamic face is considered more the definition of beautiful than that right there.
I want to just.
She got the big poppy face from the Boston's. Go ahead.
I want to unpack that because just like these IG influencers, for example, like the first thing they do when they start getting into relationships with men that have some kind of status is they start to change their face. So this is not something that is just an idea or an opinion you have. It's a truth. Like, this is why the aesthetic shops are so rampant right now, where people are making so much money, because everything is in symmetry and making sure that, you know, their cheek boards are pointy and that you can see the bone structure. So I'm just giving context to, you're not, because a lot of times I think that when you talk, because you're a comedian, people think that you're just saying stuff, but like you're really you know what you're talking about. You 100% know exactly what you're saying.
Big face ain't supposed to be in mansions. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? I know you a woman,
oh Lord,
Reva, and you ain't gonna join in with that. But I'm kind of putting you on the spot on purpose because I know you know. I watch you, sister. You know. I be listening to you trying to help hoes. But the one girl who got her hair flat as hell up top and down talking about the whole phase. The black girl who got the flat iron hair. Y'all see she talk about she got to go through her whole phase. This phase. Listen, I want to ask you this. Darlene, I'm sorry if I'm hogging Reva all to myself, but listen.
Hi, Darlene.
Is there a such thing as a phase, or is a gonna be a regardless?
Yep.
It ain't no phase.
Right. A hoe gonna be a hoe regardless. That's just that's their nature, and they can't change it. This is why I don't think you could turn a hoe into a housewife, because it's never gonna work. She's used to the lifestyle, so she's been out there for years doing it, and then you think that it's gonna be so easy for her to go get with a one man and be faithful to him and just love him. No, it's not. Even if she thinks that is, if that's her intentions and she thinks that she can, the whole life is going to be calling her. I'm just saying, it's hard for that to happen. That is hard for that to happen. And no matter what they say, it's just not, because when you're used to being passed around like that with all the different types of men, you know what I'm saying? Different sizes, different all that. Then that one man is not going to be, he's going to have to be swinging you from the chandeliers and doing all kinds of stuff to please you, because you're used to something else. So that's why that's dangerous, and why that I don't believe that they could really truly change unless it was like some type of medical condition or something that just stops them, you know, from doing it. I think that they're used to and accustomed to that lifestyle. And the older you get and the longer you go with that, the worse off. And I don't think that a whole phase is necessary. I think that's a bunch of BS. That's just women who are trying to justify doing it. I don't think that that's necessary. And I don't think that's something you should be teaching to younger women coming up, that they have to have. Would you tell your daughters that? I don't think so. You have daughters. I have daughters. I would not tell my daughters, oh, you got to go and get it out your system. Go ahead, be a like, no. And this is what these older broads who have wasted their time and their lives doing that, and now they have nothing to show for it. They're out here trying to make it seem like you gotta have a phase and she should have had this. And no, I just don't think that that's true. And I think that's horrible advice to give anyone. Nobody should be listening to that. That is not a prerequisite for life, that you have a phase. It's not. It's just not. Let's continue.
Women slow down when they realize, I am so old, I'm really getting the scum of the club, the scum of the job, the scum of the church. Only motherfuckers on thirsty mode want me. That's when they slow down a little bit. Because after they about 40 of the thirsty mode guys, they be like, okay, I've had my fill. But as long as they feel like they're desirable, a hoe gonna be a hoe. That's my opinion. What do you think about a hoe being a hoe?
So I have a couple of thoughts about it, which might be shocking to some. I think that a woman can be out there and meet the ultimate guy, because everybody knows that a woman has the guy. There's always the guy. Like, a woman can be married to another man and another man owns her, you know? And so I think a woman can encounter that kind of guy and completely just be a whole different person. And people are looking at that girl like, girl, she doesn't even know that person because she's so detached, because she just wants to appease this one person. But I believe that, this whole idea of a phase or whatever is just another situation, which is the main problem that's going on with Ayesha that I've seen. It was a similar situation that was going on with Jada and Will. It's a competition. Like, men can go and sleep with and lay down and do whatever they want to and come back and be, unfazed. Women can't do that. And the fact that there's this thought process that it's okay or women should experience a multitude of men to be able to be satisfied with a man is saying the main truth that women don't know what they want.
Yeah, women don't know what they want and they're confused, and a lot of them are bad crazy. And I think, Corey has a point when he says, listen, when they realize that you're getting the bottom of the barrel of men that approaching you and they're not even taking you seriously, that these men just looking at you and they realize, oh, I don't really want her, but I'll bust her down real quick, and then keep it moving if she would allow me. And that's it. That's when they realize for sure, oh, okay, I don't ran my course. I don't have no other recourse at this point. It's like, okay, well, damn it, this is it. I guess this is it. I done ran this thing through the ringer, and now I'm finally there. I don't have no more opportunities. And then this is when they start lying and saying that they're single by choice, child. This is when they start lying, talking about they're single by choice, because you have no choices now. You've ran out of options. You're not desirable anymore. Nobody is taking you seriously. And this is when they realize it, but then they're making another excuse. Oh, I'm single by choice. No, you're not. Usually they're in their 40s, 50s, still looking for a man to take me shopping and do all this kind of stuff and take care of you and all this. And no, like Vivica takes me shopping. I need a man to take me shopping. He need to understand who and what I am. No, what you are is an elderly lady at this point. These men are not trying to take you seriously. They like they say, the older women are attracting the YNs. Why? Because they like, yeah, I bust down the cougar. Well, okay, and what? But they're not. They know they can't have a life with you. They know they can't have a family with you. That you're not gonna be able to give them no kids because you passed that. So they just have fun with you if you let them. That's it. So yeah, I think women realize it, but I think to Corey's point, once again, if you are a woman that's not super old yet and you still think that you're desirable, you still think that you can go out here and have all these unrealistic expectations for a man, that you can still get the man that you want. Even though they don't get it, they still think that they can. So they're still out here competing with the younger women, but they're not getting the outcomes. Then they're like, where are all the good men at? Where y'all at? Can y'all come outside? No, they don't want to come outside. They don't want to talk to y'all. They'll come outside and straight ignore you. Or if you're willing to bust it open, they might take that too, and that's it. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's a crazy cycle. And once again, I do agree with what River said. Yeah, when I'm speaking on this stuff too, I'm like, I wish y'all would get it. It's not a good look. We talk about black women. The worst of the women are at the forefront, and it looks bad on all of us. So when people around the world look at black women, they put all of us in the same category. They're loud and they're ratchet and they're this, because you see people twerking on tables. Every black woman does not twerk on tables and twerk all over the place and act a fool and is loud and ratchet. That's not all of us. And so we're all being lumped into this one category. So if nobody says anything to counter that, to show, hey, we're not all degenerates, we're not all just out here acting a fool, that will be the narrative that will be spun over and over and over and over again. And if you're not that way, how could you sit back and not have an opinion or try to give a little bit of insight to what black women could do to make the situations better? If you have a voice, then use it to at least put something that counters what's out there that's so negative, because that's all we see. Cardi Red, people ready to dance to Sexy Red and Cardi B and shake and act a fool and wear these provocative clothing all over the place and act like you have no sense. Loud, ignorant, ghetto, just ready to pop off every chance you get. That's not every black woman. But if that's what's being seen at the forefront, that's the representation that we have collectively. So yeah, just to sum this up, the whole Ayesha Curry thing, I wouldn't be surprised if one day she files for divorce and leaves him. I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit. The lady definitely seems like she's in competition with, or trying to be in competition with him, or jealous of him or something, or she just something is going on there. But it is what it is. He definitely plays a part because that's who he married and he's with her. And either they're gonna see it to the end, or she's gonna end up probably leaving him, saying that, probably still putting him in a negative light and saying that he was not who everybody thought he was. Because we don't see him in trouble. We don't hear a lot of negative press about him or anything. But I wouldn't be surprised if that narrative ends up being something that's created by her and to make him look like he was a bad person to justify her leaving. So listen, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Chime in. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the whole Ayesha Curry situation? Again, what do you think about what Corey and River had to say about it? Let me know in the comments. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.